Introduction to Web Programming, Canvas and HTML5 Games. So HTML5 brought us plenty of new elements, and one of these new elements is Canvas element. So basically Canvas offers the opportunity to draw with JavaScript. So you can draw lines, circles, triangles, rectangles, etc. So we have a dynamic graphics. We do not need to load images from server, but we can draw them as we are working. If you need to draw some images, you can use Canvas, and there are of course libraries available, and we have now already used two libraries, Leaflet and Frappe, and they are drawing us stuff, but of course there are plenty of other things to draw that cannot be achieved with those libraries. Then you might end up in a solution that you need to use Canvas to draw something, or you need to draw some games or whatever. And here's a simple example. We are creating a Canvas element. It has an ID, Canvas, my Canvas, and it has a width 600 pixels and height 400 pixels. That's the simplest way to have a canvas that you can then draw on. And here is a JavaScript code where first we get the element just by get element by ID, and then we are taking the context out of that element. We are taking 2D, so we are not building any three-dimensional things, but two-dimensional. Then we are drawing a orange square, and then we are drawing a line, and finally we are drawing a circle with this arc command. So you can draw anything else than just circles, but if you are going like a 360 degrees, so 2 radians, then you are building a circle. That's the way to draw some lines and simple stuff. And you can also draw game figures, animations. So with HTML5 we have a way to build games where we do not need any Adobe Flash. No one uses Adobe Flash anymore, of course, but 15 years ago Flash was the key thing to build games, and then there were also Java applets. But with HTML5 those are completely not required, and we can do anything with the Canvas and the JavaScript. So Canvas can also be used with WebGL, so we have a better world to build 3D games, for example. And there are dozens of different game development frameworks. So if you just Google HTML5 game framework, you will get plenty of those. And you can build, of course, 2D and 3D games. Browser environment is completely fine nowadays to build something like Counter-Strike or StarCraft style games. And there are plenty of different frameworks, as said. GDevelop, Babylon.js and Phaser, for example. And for example, there is some kind of a blog post list HTML5 game engines. And then let's talk about a bit this Phaser. It's one of the oldest HTML5 game engine. You can download it from phaser.io. It has a good tutorials. There are plenty of materials, plenty of examples available. You can just go through them if you wish. And there is a good community, so you can ask questions and someone might even answer. Documentation is plenty of them, so you can get to the docs. And this is a basic game engines, very similar to Unity or any other. So you are basically building a scene and scene after scene. And after that you can build like a story. You can have several maps if you are building a game like a Bomberman or Dynaplaster stylish. You can have those kind of scenes or whatever you wish. There is in a way a game loop. So first you init everything you need to, then there is a preload. You load your sprites or music, etc. Then you create the objects out of those loaded stuff. Then there is the update that is done, and after that the whole thing is rendered to the screen, and then the next update, and then rendering. Very, very simple way. Some features Phaser has. It has a physics engines, of course, and events, so you can build games that have physics. Things are dropping off the table, etc. if you wish to build them kind of things. So you can easily build games like Flappy Bird or Angry Birds with Phaser. There is no problem to do that. And the framework takes care of collisions. So if you are dropping a plate to the table, it drops on the table, not through it, and things like that. You can move things in an arc, jump, or whatever you wish to build. It recognizes the collisions and activates functions after the collision, for example, and there are timers, sprite sheet handling very well, easy to load sprite sheet. You can use keyboard, mouse, touchscreen, all the handling is already in the framework. You can have sounds, of course, and a lot more. There are plenty of things you can read through the material if you wish. Let's have an example how to build a game with Phaser. Yeah, so I have here very simple empty HTML page. I have only added this JavaScript file, what is then empty. And here is the phaser.io web page. So this is the HTML5 game engine. And here are plenty of examples. For example, if you would like to see some kind of a isometric map, here is something like 300 lines of code, and you can build that kind of a game. There are some skeletons fighting or something like that. But let's go to build our game. So first we would like to get the actual library to our web page. Here is the link, and we just take the CDN link and add it here. Now we have the library, and this is the newest version. So of course, if you are building with Node, you have a Node.js, etc. npm, then you can use those. But in this case, we are going just the simplest way by adding this library to our project. And I would like to have some kind of assets also, so I'm still missing those. So let's add assets folder, and now I will just copy paste some assets there. And now I have some assets, so I have here this dude, platform, and star, and I cannot see them right now. Well, they are just images, they are there. They are just taken from the Phaser's own tutorials, so no harm done if we cannot see them. So let's just build some simple game with, let's say, 150 lines of code. We will have a game object, then we will need some options. And these game options can be an array, of course, but it can also, well, I didn't mean to put array. It can be, of course, array, it can be string or whatever, but I'm using here an object. So first we are making just there is this dude we can jump with it. So let's have a dude gravity, and we can define that it's 800. So this gravity means basically, in a way, how heavy is the guy, how fast it's going to fall. And then we will have dude speed, and this is 300. So here are our basic game options. And then when this window has been loaded, we will just do some magic and start building the actual game initialization process. So let's have some kind of a game config. And this is also JSON object. What kind of a game we are building? Phaser auto. Then let's have some kind of a background color. We can have there is almost blackish color. Let's put some greenish there. So 336633, very dark green. And then we are doing some scaling. Phaser scale fit, auto center, phaser scale center both, width, let's go with 800 pixels and height 1000. Then we can play around with, let's say, pixel art. True, we can then modify it back when we are testing it. Physics is important, so let's have some kind of physics here. So the default is going to be arcade. So there are different physics variations, but we do not want to build real life physics. We want to build this arcade style, similar to Super Mario or something like that. And then we are defining that there is gravity and its default value to y-axis is 0, so nothing is dropping, but you can add gravity there if you wish. And scene, play game. What next? Game itself is now new phaser game, and we are giving this game config as a parameter. Then window focus is okay. Let's see. Did we get any errors? Yes, we get an unexpected token. Line 11. Yeah, this is a string. Play game is not defined. Yes, it is not defined because we haven't defined it already. So let's define it. So this play game is a class. No. And it's extending phaser scene like that. And now we got our dark screen, so it could be even darker this background color. So let's have something like this. Yeah, now it could be even a bit darker. Yeah, no, now I'm satisfied. Then let's build a game. So first we can have a preload method, and in this preload method we are just loading the images we have been having in the assets folder. So this load image, and then we are loading this ground. First we are calling it ground, and then where is the actual file? It's in the assets folder called platform.png. Yeah, like that. And then we can also load the dude, our player. Like that. And then there is this no, this is not the dude, this is the star we have here. The dude, it's not image, it's a sprite sheet, so we are loading a sprite sheet it's called dude. It's the dude image, and then we are giving us additional parameters that it's frame width is 32 pixels and frame height is 48 pixels. And now we have done our preloading, so now we have the images loaded. Then we can continue to create method, and we are actually not getting this. There is a typo, it should be assets. Yes, now it's working. So this create method is important. Here we now create everything that we will use in our game, meaning that the animation, the keyboard controllers, the colliders, etc. And we will have plenty of those ground floors, we will have several stars, and we will have one dude. So let's first build a group for those platforms. So this group ground group equals this physics add group. So we are adding a group, and to this group we are adding a JSON object as a parameter. So we are setting that these are not movable, these ground blocks that we have. You cannot move them, and we are not allowing gravity, so it's false. And then we can build few of these ground floors or ground platforms. We are finally getting something visible in our game. So this ground group create, and now we are using a random numbers here. Phaser has own math library that can easily give us numbers, let's say between 0 and game config width, and this is the x coordinate, and then we need to have the y coordinate, which is the height. And the last parameter here is the what is the image we are using, and we are using this ground image. So our config could not be red, and we have a mistake here. We have a comma. There should not be any commas. This is a different thing. So now we got 20 of those blocks here, and well, it's a start. Let's then get this our dude going on. So this dude equals this physics add sprite, and we are using this game config width. So we are going to have it in the center. So here is the X position and here is the Y position. And what we are using there, we are using this dude. Let's see. There it is. Now we cannot move it or anything, but the dude is there. And then let's put some gravity there. This dude body gravity y equals game options.dude gravity that we have set in the beginning. And now it has gravity, it falls off the screen. So let's add a collider then. So this physics add collider this dude, this ground group. So now we have a collider between these two objects. Actually the object and the object group. So now our dude did not fall off the screen. It will work as was intentions. Then it would be nice to have a way to move the dude. So let's add some input things. So this cursors equals this input keyboard create cursor keys. So now we are using the phaser cursor keys. The next we will also, if we are using, well, we can actually build the update next, so we can set how this dude is moving. So let's have a update here. If this cursor's left is down. So this is basically providing us information. If the left arrow is down, then we are setting that this dude body velocity x, yeah, this is way too much. Velocity x equals, we are going left, so it's minus game options dude speed. And similarly, of course, we could have this right and it's has a game options dude speed and it's going right. So let's have this else if. So if cursor left is down, if it's right is down, and else if none of those is down, then we are just going to stop this dude so it's not moving right or left. So this equals 0. Let's see. Yeah, it's moving, but now we cannot jump, and we are just dropping off the floor. So let's build this jumping. So let's copy paste this one. And now the key is of course this up. If it's down, then the dude body velocity y is, we have this kind of a variable game options dude gravity. Let's see if it's working. Yes, it is working. Do we have enough gravity? And now we can even jump if there would be no floor. So let's improve this. So this is way too much, so let's divide it with 1.6. So now we are not jumping that much. Yeah, this jump is okay, but then we need to get rid of that we can jump in the air. So let's also check that this dude body is touching downside. So now we should be only able to jump if we are on some kind of floor. Now we cannot jump when we are in the air. Yeah, it's working. But there are no animations, so the guy is not changing in any way. It's still looking left. So let's add animation here. So this anims create, and we are giving it a JSON string. So this is key called left. It is using frames. This anims frame numbers. We are taking the sprite sheet called dude. Start is the 0th sprite and end is the 3rd one. And then frame rate can be 10, repeat -1, and we can of course set very similar to the right, and here the starting point is 5 and the end is 10. And then in the between here we can have a turn, and we are only having a one frame 4. Actually we are not, we can just use the array here. We are giving it a key called dude, and frame is the 4th frame, and this should be of course JSON object like this. Yeah, and then we will need something else. We need to modify these that we get the correct animation. So this dude anims play, and now we are using the left animation, it's true, and here we are using the right, and when we are stopping we are turning back to the front. Let's see if it's working. Yeah, it sounds that the guy is now walking and jumping well. Yes, this is very random, these platforms. It really means that we will end up in a situation where we cannot jump to the top. And we are dying. So let's make it so that if we are falling off, then we would be dying and the game would restart. So here in the update section we will just have one clause that if this dude y coordinate is more than game config height, or this dude y is less than 0. So if we are going off from the bottom or the top, then we are just restarting the game. This scene start play game, and this play game needs to be defined. No, it's, yeah, it should work. Yeah, it did not. Let's have a constructor here. Constructor super play game. Let's see if it's now working. Nope. Yeah. Yeah, now it's working. I had just a typo there. Yeah. Okay, now we can move around and jump and get killed. What if we had something to collect? So we had these stars here. Let's get something useful for them. This is the dude and its collider. Let's have here the star sting. This stars group equals this physics add sprite. And no, now I'm completely writing something very strange. We are adding a group, not anything. So this is just a stars group, similar to this ground group, but now we are not giving any parameters there. And the next thing is to add a collider. So this physics add collider, and this is between this stars group and this ground group. So the stars are on the ground, so they are not falling off. So then there is a collider, and then we would need to have a way to collect those stars. So this is not handled with collider, this is handled with overlap. So physics add overlap, and this dude, this stars group, if they are overlapping, then we are just calling this new function called collect star, and null, and this requires to be additional parameters. And then we need to have this collect star method here. So it's getting dude and star, and then we can just this one star disable body true, so it gets removed, and now we can have some kind of score. So this score is one more, so we are getting an additional point, and this score text set text equals this score. But now we don't have any score text, so we need to add that too. So let's get back to here in our create method, and here we are adding the overlap. Then let's just add this add image, its position is 16. So the 0, 0 is the upper left corner, and we are just putting a star to that corner. And this 16, 16 is where the center position of this star is going to be. Let's have it. It should be here. Yes, it's there. And now we have the star there. And then we should have also this score text. This score text equals this add text 32 0, and then the value is in the beginning it's 0, and we can set the font size pixels, and then the fill color is going to be black, like this. Actually, the black cannot be seen, so let's have a white color, like this. Now we have a 0 there. It could be a bit more, so let's have a 5 pixels. You know, too much 3 pixels. Yeah. Now we have a score there. Now we only thing what we are missing is the actual stars. We do not have them. So let's create a trigger here. This trigger timer. So we are building a timer so that we get new stars on our map. So this time at no, we would not want to that. Time at event we are giving it a callback. So it's a function we are calling. This add ground. So we are adding ground, but we are also adding stars. And call back scope is this. Delay 700 milliseconds, I think, and loop equals true. Yeah, and now we need this add ground method. Let's build that. So we do not have any parameters. We are just adding a new ground. We can actually have a log here, adding new stuff like that. And then this ground group, let's create, let's copy paste here this width. Like that, and then the second parameter will be 0, so it's created to the upper part of the gaming area, and this is the ground. And then we are setting, now we want to update this our method so that all these floors would be falling down, or actually they would not be falling down, they would be moving down, so there would be no gravity but just the animate so that they are moving down. So this ground group set velocity game options dude speed divided by, let's say, 6. So now we would get a floor that is falling down. Let's see what is happening. Now we are in the situation that nothing is working. Very good. So yeah, I had a mistake here. So set velocity, but we are only wanting to set it through y-axis. So now everything is moving. And we can jump. Try to get to the, oh, I actually got there. Yeah, now this is working, but we do not have the stars. So let's add the stars. So we are adding these new grounds, and we could simultaneously add some stars. So if math between, and let's just add a number 1 or 0, and if it's 1 then this is true, and we are adding stars. So this stars group, let's create, and once again we are adding the stars to the top, and not ground but star. Let's see what is happening. Yeah, the stars are there, but they should also be moving, so let's just add set velocity y, and we can have this game options. It is not going through those floors as there were colliders there. Now we got 1 star, but this wasn't updated, this number, so what was wrong there? So let's add here in the beginning that this score equals 0. No, yeah, now it's working. Yeah, this isn't the easiest game. I'm getting killed every time. Yeah. Yeah, but this is pretty much how you can build just some random jumping game, platform scrolling thingy. Of course, you would probably want to have some kind of better randomized algorithm, so it could be more playable. But this is how it works. This is how you build a game with Phaser. So, as a conclusion, one can program games with JavaScript. It's a common hobby nowadays. And there are plenty of HTML game frameworks to choose from. You use the one you suits the best for you. And they are basically all open source frameworks written in JavaScript or TypeScript. And Phaser has extensive documentation and it's a sound solution to start game development if you wish to do that in HTML5 environment.